Ready to see some amazing experiments?
This is the Operation Ouch Poo Factory.
We're going to show you how your incredible body works. Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Chris, can I trouble you for a favour? I need to borrow something of yours for an experiment. Is that OK?
Yeah, that's fine, whatever. Hang on, trouble me for what?
Some of your blood. You've got 8 pints of it.
Absolutely not. I'm using mine at the moment.
Yeah, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get it on telly.
Ooh, this does sound good, actually.
Great. Now remember, we can only do this because we're doctors.
Now, you might think I'm being brave with this needle, but you've got to remember that needles don't hurt unless you think they hurt, and I don't think it hurts. Nice work, Xand. I have to say, though, for all the vital jobs it does, like carrying oxygen around my body, it's not much to look at, is it? I mean, it's just sort of red and gloopy, right?
Wrong! It is much to look at, but only if you put it in one of these. This is a centrifuge machine.
This is my centrifuge machine. I've been looking for that.
Stop interrupting. We're trying to do an experiment. By spinning Chris's blood around at high speed, the centrifuge machine will separate the different parts that make up blood so we can see them. And 10 minutes later... So there we go.
Now, this top liquid layer is called the plasma, and it carries nutrients around your body and also carries waste material that your body wants to get rid of. And underneath the plasma, you can see this red layer, and that is made up of red blood cells, or erythrocytes, and these carry oxygen all around your body. And also in there are the platelets, and those are the cells that help you form blood clots.
And right between these two layers, you can see a little bit of cloudiness. Those are white blood cells to fight infection. Well, there we go, Chris. We're all done with that now.
Why are you giving me this?
I only needed to borrow it. I'm a man of my word.
So you've seen what your blood is made up of, but do you know where your blood comes from? Well, we're going to show you. Gross alert coming up. Amazingly, your blood comes from your bones.
If you thought your bones were just solid, hard, white things that kept you standing up, then think again, because there's more to bones than that.
Now, to demonstrate this, I've got a pig's femur. That's the big bone that you've got in your thigh. And we're going to open this one up to see how bones make blood.
The femur is one of the strongest bones in the body, so we're going to need some very specialist kit to cut it open.
Exactly.
Right, Xand. Or we could use a medical femur saw. It's the only thing that doctors ever use to cut bones.
OK, we'll do it your way.
It's time to saw open some bone.
Chris, the saw. Get ready, because this is going to be a bit messy.
This is the inside of a pig's femur. And right here, this squishy stuff is red bone marrow.
Now, it's the red bone marrow that makes all your blood cells. In fact, every single day, your bone marrow makes 500 billion blood cells.
Busy. Now, the inside of your bones looks like this. It's pink with a lot of red marrow. But as you get older, your marrow starts to turn yellow. Chris, the yellow bone marrow,
Coming right up. This is the inside of an adult cow's leg bone.
this yellow bone marrow is a much lighter colour. It's very soft and squidgy, and that's because it's mostly fat cells. This is what your mum and dad's bone marrow looks like.
And that's because your body needs more blood when it's growing a lot. But as you get older and you don't have so much growing to do, some of the red marrow, which makes blood, turns to yellow marrow, which is basically a fat stool.
So you have more red marrow than a grown-up.
But how does blood get from inside the bones to flowing around your body? Well, we're going to show you.
Come and have a good look at this. Right there, between that bit of bone marrow and the hard bit of bone, is a blood vessel.
So that's coming right inside your bones to pick up all that nice new blood being made by the marrow every single day. How cool is that?
So we've shown you that inside, your bones are amazing blood-making factories, and veins come right inside the bones to pick up that blood. And we've seen that blood is made up of different things, all of which have different jobs in your body.
You know, Chris, I did have a sense that that chainsaw was a bit over the top.
Did you, Xand?
I could feel it in my bones.
Xand, I'm about to do a red blood cell experiment, and I need a plate of donuts that I left here.
Donuts? What, I don't know anything about a plate of donuts.
Really? It was a plate exactly like this one here. It's just it was full of uneaten donuts. And this seems to have little scraps of eaten donuts.
Well, I'd love to help, but you probably just forgot where you put it.
Maybe. Unless, of course, someone's eaten them.
This is not the moment for these baseless accusations. It's time for Investigation Hour.
Did you know you have around 8 pints of blood in your body? But what if you lost a lot of blood in an accident or your blood had a disease? This is the Bristol Blood Centre, and it's full of blood that has been donated by healthy people to help patients.
In this room is almost half of England's blood supply.
Wow! The blood here is given to patients through bags like these directly into their veins. It's called a blood transfusion.
Now, most of the time this works very well, but just occasionally their immune system starts to reject the blood that's been transfused into them.
So, the researchers at Bristol have developed an amazing way to make blood that won't be rejected. Part of that team is top scientist Dr. Ash Toy.
So Ash, what are you doing here in this lab?
We're taking a portion of normal donor blood and we isolate the stem cells in that portion of normal blood and we grow more stem cells from that, which we then turn into red blood cells.
This blood grown from stem cells is purer, so it won't get rejected by its recipient. That's amazing! But what are stem cells? Different parts of your body are made up of different types of cells. They're everywhere, in your blood, your brain, and even your hair. Stem cells are your body's spare cells, which don't have a job yet and are waiting to be told what to do. What's brilliant is that scientists like Ash have found a way of doing what your body does naturally in a lab, turning stem cells into red blood cells.
In this slightly unremarkable looking flask, there is almost a miracle of modern science taking place. How do you make sure that these cells become red blood cells?
They're in a really rich nutrient solution that helps the cell know that it wants to be a red blood cell.
This is a real image of a stem cell, and every stem cell has a nucleus in its center, but red blood cells don't. And there's a reason for that. They have to be tiny enough to squeeze through the smallest blood vessels in your body. So the first thing that has to happen to a stem cell if it's going to turn into a red blood cell is it needs to lose its nucleus. To demonstrate this, I've had to get some more donuts. I've still no idea what happened to the other ones I bought.
If you have a cell with a nucleus and you try and squeeze it through the blood vessels, you can see it doesn't really work very well. You can get it in, but it damages the cell pretty badly.
If I remove the nucleus, it'll turn into a red blood cell.
So that's ended up as a sort of squashed disc shape.
And that's a special shape that the red blood cell has to have to be more flexible.
And it is a tight fit, but it'll get through and remain undamaged.
So it can squeeze to about half its size because you no longer have that nucleus in the way.
That is why red cells have to lose their nucleus.
Let's take a look at this under the microscope.
There's an example there where you can see these cells with no dark nucleus. They are basically red blood cells.
The hope is that in a couple of years, patients whose bodies reject donor blood will benefit from this pure lab blood made from stem cells.
And this is the final product. This is 100 billion red blood cells. It might not look like much, but this is the most that anyone in the world has ever managed to produce from the stem cells of a single donor.
Wow! Ready to see some amazing experiments?
Yes! A triumph!
We're going to show you how your incredible body works. Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Today, we're looking at a pair of organs that really clean up. Chris, what are you doing?
I'm cleaning and tidying the lab, Xand.
I thought we had one of those self-cleaning laboratories. Would you like some orange juice?
Oh, I'd love some. Yeah, it's thirsty work, this.
Here you go.
Thanks, Xand. Ah! It's got juicy bits in it! Ah!
Now, Chris doesn't like bits in his orange juice any more than your body doesn't like bits or waste products in your bloodstream. And what your kidneys do is help to get rid of them. Now, I can remove the bits from the orange juice using this filter.
Hey, that's my tea strainer. Whatever. It gets rid of all the little bits in the orange juice, just like your kidneys get rid of all the little bits from your blood that your body doesn't want.
In 24 hours, your kidneys filter and clean 200 litres of blood. And it's even more amazing when you see what a real kidney looks like.
Now, this pair is from a pig, but they're very similar to yours.
It might look a bit gross, but your kidneys are amazing.
This tube here is the main blood vessel carrying blood into the kidneys full of waste waiting to be removed.
The blood gets filtered and another tube carries the waste
Wee down to this sac here, which is your bladder. And your bladder empties when you go to the loo.
And that's the pipe that takes away the cleaned up blood and sends it back around your body. Right, let's have a closer look. Scalpel, please, Dr. Chris.
Now, inside the kidney is where all this filtering takes place.
There we go.
This is done by a special thing called a nephron. There's about 1 million in each kidney, and they're so small you can't see them.
So we've had to pay good money for this photo of one under a microscope.
Chris, don't you just hate it when a bit of the body is so small that you can only see it with a microscope?
I do, I hate it. But luckily, I've got just this eventuality covered.
Ooh.
Come with me, Xand. Your kidneys are an amazing filtration system, and we're going to show you. To do it, I've made these. 2 super-sized kidney models, one for me and one for you, Xand.
These are great! Finally, a kidney model that's big enough to actually see what's going on. I love it!
Yeah, I thought you'd like it.
So, we're going to use our giant-sized models to show you just how your real-life kidneys clean your blood. Now, this jar represents a single nephron inside your kidneys.
And just like in the real kidney, Chris has put a tube bringing blood into the nephron here, another tube bringing cleaned up blood out of the kidney, and then a third tube taking the waste away. It's amazing!
OK, well, thanks, Xand. Now, the liquid that represents your blood is here.
It's got water and red glitter in it for a bit of colour.
Now, we're going to pump our very attractive glittery blood through our nephrons to give us an idea of how your kidney works in real life. Are you ready, Xand?
I'm ready, Chris. Let's go.
And pump. So what you can see here is the glittery blood flowing into the nephron.
And it gets filtered through the nephron, and then the nice clean blood travels back along the renal vein, back to the body, full of all the nice stuff your body wanted to keep. Chris?
And everything else, the waste, comes out here.
Chris?
Out of the ureter and into the bladder.
Chris?
My urine's darker than yours.
Oh, so it is. I must have given you the dehydrated kidney. I wanted to show everyone what happens if you don't drink enough water.
Oh, I see. Clever.
If your wee is dark in colour like this, it's a pretty reliable sign that your body isn't getting enough water.
Being dehydrated is not good for you. Your body works best when it has enough water. Light-coloured wee, like on my nicely working kidney, is a sign that you're well hydrated.
So we've seen how your kidneys are an amazing filter, cleaning up your blood and getting rid of things your body doesn't need.
And the wee they produce is a pretty good sign of whether you should be drinking more water. Light yellow wee is good.
Speaking of drinking more, I'd like a glass of orange juice. Now, I have some oranges here for you to squeeze for me.
OK, Xand.
Wait a minute, he's forgotten the oranges. Chris, you've forgotten the oranges!